Hey patrons, thank you so much for all the continued support. It means a lot to me. Okay, so it is the first of the month, and that means it's time to talk about my October to-be-read list, commonly referred to as the October TBR. Before we go into the books, let's talk about my September TBR contest. So each month, I run a contest where you predict how I will score all the books I will read in the upcoming month. The top 3 spots are winners, and the winners are highlighted in my TBR video. So you don't have to get first place in order to win, just top 3. And if you win twice, then you get to pick any book that you want for me to read and review, a book that I haven't read before. Since the start of this contest, we've now had 2 winners. And so, yeah, those 2 people have gotten to pick a book for me to read and review, and one of them is this month. So in this last month, we had 231 contestants, and I hope that you will join this month. So click the link at the bottom of the description or up above here to officially submit your picks, and then join the Discord, if you haven't already, to follow along with the updates after each book, because every time that I finish a book, I'll put out a link to the top scores, do a little write-up on who's winning, and, you know, it's really fun, and I hope you join along, and Discord's where a lot of the fun is. So the TBR winner with the gold medal was Darth Andy, who got 6 out of 9 correct and only missed 3 total points. The silver medal goes to Josiah Peterson, who also got 6 out of 9, but missed a total of 5 points. Now, this is the second time that Josiah's won, and he now gets to pick a book for me to read this month, and we'll talk about what that is a little bit later on in this video. And the bronze medal goes to 𝐒𝐨𝐧𝐿, who got 5 out of 9 correct and missed 4 total points. So the book that most people got right was Dragonfired. This is the final book in the Dark Prophet trilogy by 𝐂𝐧𝐭𝐿, and 205 people got this correct, which was 58%. And the book that most people got wrong was Whispers from the Poisoned Isle, which is the 4th book from the 𝐂𝐨𝐿 series by 𝗣𝘁𝗿𝗄, and only 3 people got that one right, which is about 1%, a little bit above 1%. The worst score this month was 0 out of 9, which was shared by 7 people, and the average score was 2.55 out of 9. This is by far the worst month for everybody, because I made this a little bit harder than normal. In books where I obviously know, and everybody kind of obviously knows that I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, I've made it a little more challenging. If it's in a series, I'll have you like rank where it is in the series. So yeah, the contest has gotten harder, but it's harder for everybody, so it kind of equalizes in the end. But the scores have dropped. So let's go over the books that I'm going to be reading this month. The first one is The Last Argument of Kings. This is book 3 of the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. I am doing this one on audiobook by the amazing Stephen Pacey. And I should be finishing this up right when the month starts. So I've been reading this for a while, and I'm almost done. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about what I think about it because I kind of already know. But yeah. This one is 656 pages, which is about 234,000 words. So this is going to be a 5-star because the first time I read this, it was one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And I still love it. Now, but that's not the question, is if I'm going to give it a 5 stars. The question is will I like it more, about the same, or less? I'm not going to tell you what my prediction is because I already know what I think because I'm almost done with this thing. But that's what I want you to guess here. But keep in mind that the first time that I rated this, and when I did like my top 100 favorite books of all time at the end of last year, it was a top 20 favorite book of all time, maybe like top 15. So keep that in mind when you think about what I'm going to rate this one. Next up is Demon in White. This is book 3 of the Sun Eater series by 𝗂𝐶hrisTopher Rocchio. I'm doing this one in book format. I should be finishing this one again right at the beginning of the month, around the 1st. This one's 774 pages and about 285,000 words. Again, I already know this is a 5 stars. You should know that too, because I am an enormous fan of the Sun Eater series. I've given the previous 2 books in this 5 out of 5 stars. But again, that is not the question. The question is, out of the 3 books, which is this going to be ranked? Is this going to be my favorite of the 3 that I've read, my second favorite, or my third favorite? And even if you say third, you're still saying I love it, because they're all 5 stars. But where in that 3 is it going to go? And because I already know personally what this is going to be, I am not going to do a prediction on this one. Next up is The Sunlit Man. This is the 4th and final secret project book by Brandon Sanderson. I'm doing this one in book format. I should be finishing this one up around October 5th. and this is 400 pages and about 150,000 words, and I'm going to predict 4 stars. Now, I know a little teeny bit about this one. I know that it's a 𝐂𝐪𝐼 book. I think it follows one of the characters from Stormlight Archive that I like a lot. I don't want to ruin that for anybody in case you don't want to know anything about this book. But I'm saying 4 stars mostly because I have really liked the first book of these secret projects, and then I really didn't like the second and third ones. They just weren't for me. I think the second one I gave it 3 stars, and I think the third one I gave it 2 stars. Now, the fact that I already kind of am predisposed to liking this a little bit based on kind of the narrator of the story, at least I think it is, I'm going to say 4 stars. I kind of hedging my bets here. I can't imagine it's going to be as good as 𝗏. I love 𝗏. Maybe it is. I hope it is. But 4 stars for me. Then I'm going to be doing The Hexologists by Josiah Bancroft. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up around October 8th. And I'm actually doing this in a physical book. So every time I say book, what I really mean is ebook. But I'm actually reading this one in physical book, which is super rare. I can't even remember the last time I read a physical book. And I'm doing that because I emailed the publisher because I wanted to read this book because it just came out. And I said, can you send me the ebook? And they said, no, but we'll send you the physical book. All right. Well, so I'm sitting on the physical book. It's somewhere there behind me. This one's about 336 pages and 100,000 words. And I'm going 4 stars. I don't love Josiah Bancroft. I was a fan at the beginning of the Books of Babel, which is another series that he did, but then I became not so enamored with it as the series went along. But I always liked his writing. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like where the story went. But if he can fix the story issues, that's the easier thing to fix, right? Writing quality is probably enormously difficult to fix. You kind of got it or you don't. I mean, you can improve over time, but I already like that. So I'm holding out hope that this series is going to start off hot like I felt like the Books of Babel did. 4 stars. Then I am doing the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. This is book 3 of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. I'm doing this one on audiobook by the incredible 𝗏𝘅𝐻𝐻𝐻. This should be finished up around October 10th. This is 534 pages and 150,000 words. And I'm going to predict 4 stars. So I love the first one. I really liked the second one. I gave it 4 stars. I had some problems with the plot. I didn't love some of the directions. I didn't there were 2 main plots going on. I didn't really love one of them. I really liked the other one. So I went with 4 stars. I'm going to do the 4 stars again just because I can't imagine ever liking this series less than that because I love the style. I love the setting. I love the writing. It's the plot issues. So is the plot going to be better, the same, worse? My guess is around the same. I think I'm probably, going to be given a lot of 4 stars for this series. I hope it's higher. I hope it enamors me like the first book did. I love the whole idea of this, of the setting here, where this character Carl is, going through these dungeons, kind of forced to try to save humanity or save at least himself. And the humor along with it, and the serious tone of it as well. It's just got this awesome blend that works really well. And an audiobook is just incredible because 𝗏𝘅𝐻𝐻𝐻 is, God tier when it comes to audiobook narrators. So, yep, 4 stars. Then I will be doing The Darkness That Comes Before. This is book 1 of the Prince of Nothing series by R. Scott Baker, or Backer. I think it's Baker. I'm doing this one in book format. Should finish this up on October 13th. This is 608 pages and 152,000 words. And this one was the Patreon vote. So every month on my Patreon, I put up a list of 5 books that I'm interested in reading, and you vote for which one you want me to read. This one won, and I'm predicting 5 stars. I've looked forward to reading this one for quite a while. I don't know much about it other than it's very dark. And even though I don't think it's like 𝗏𝗏𝐿azin, I've heard that a lot of people that love 𝗏𝗏𝐿azin also love this series. 𝗏𝗏𝐿azin's my favorite series. I've also probably, out of the books that I've never read before, this one's probably easily the #1 book of where people tell me that I need to read it. I've had literally dozens of people tell me, have you read this yet? When are you going to read it? Why haven't you read it? Well, I'm reading it now. I'm really excited, and I'm hoping for 5 stars. Then is The Way of Edan, or Eden. This is book 1 of the Edan trilogy by Philip Chase, who is a fellow booktuber. Awesome booktuber. You should check him out if you haven't. I'm doing this one in book format. Should finish this up on October 19th. It is 539 pages and about 165,000 words. This was the TBR winner, Josiah Peterson's pick. He told me to read this. He gets to pick whatever he wants, and so I'm doing it. Now, I didn't really want to read this, and I told myself that I wasn't going to read it. And the reason that I didn't want to read it is because I know Philip Chase. I'm not friends with him. I'm not really friends with many booktubers. But I've watched his videos, and I've really liked him. And I know that he's going to watch my review, and I don't want to let him down. But I also, more than anything, the predominant feeling that I've had that I hope people trust in me is that I will always give you my opinion. And I'm just scared that I'm not going to like it and that I'm going to have to say something that's going to hurt somebody's feelings that I really like. So I told myself I'm not going to read it. Well, it's been picked for me. I'm doing it. I'm going to be honest. I really hope that I like it. I'm going to predict 3 stars, though, because I've heard that it's really, it's kind of epic fantasy, which I love, but it's also kind of this like literary fiction type of writing that I've never loved before. I'm hoping that changes here. I'm really hoping that I love this book, but I'm going to guess 3 out of 5. Next up, The Dark Forest, which is book 2 of the Remembrance of Earth's Past series. I think more commonly known as the 3-Body Problem's second book. It seems like most people don't know the series name of this, but the 3-Body Problem is the name of the first book. Dark Forest is the second book. And this is by Cixin Liu, or Liu Cixin. I think that's how you say it in Chinese. It's backwards. I'm doing this one in audiobook. Should finish this up on October 19th. 528 pages and 132,000 words. And I'm going to guess 4 stars. Like I guessed, and which I was correct in. No, I think I guessed 5 for 3-Body Problem, and I ended up giving it a 4. I really liked 3-Body Problem. I think a lot of it went over my head. The writing was really stale. The characters were really stale. The plot was amazing. The concepts were amazing. It really got me intrigued. But I've heard universally from people that the second book is better than the first. So I probably should say 5 stars. If I could predict 4.5, that's what I'd predict, but I don't do half ratings in this contest. So I'm going to hedge it down to saying 4 stars. But the plot's really started going now, and I don't want to say what it's about, but I can't wait to kind of keep going from where we ended up the first book. Then is The Shadow of the Torturer. This is book 1 of the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up on October 21st. It is very short, 262 pages and 70,000 words. This was the Patreon raffle book. So every month on my Patreon, depending on your level, you get to put a book or 2 into this giant wheel that I spin at the end of every month, and whatever it lands on, I have to read, no matter what it is. This one got picked. I'm guessing 3 stars. Why? Well, I don't know anything about this book, other than it's older and very famous. But when I told people that I'm going to be reading this, a lot of people were like, Matt, you're not going to like it. I don't know why. I don't know why they said that. So, yeah. I don't know anything about it. I wish I could say more here, but I'm going to say 3 stars based on what my Discord users told me. Then next up is The Exile. This is a novella in the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. I think it's the second novella. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up on October 23rd. It's also very short. It's a novella. It should be short. 202 pages and 58,000 words. I'm guessing 4 stars. That's my average rating that I give novellas. I really loved the first novella. I think I gave it 4 stars, but in retrospect, if I read it again, I might give it a 5, because the things that it talked about just so set up Of Darkness and Light, the second book in this series, the second full book. And now that I kind of know more about that event and how it ties into the later books in the series, it would be a lot more impactful to me. But I don't know anything about this one either. I really try not to know much about books before I read them. If you haven't figured that out yet, I like to go in blind. And I'm definitely going in blind on this one. Then I think the last book that I'm reading is Bookshops and Bone Dust. This is a prequel story to Legends and Lattes, which comes out on November 7th. I've had this book in my Kindle library for quite a while now. Travis Baldry very kindly sent it to me. I've been holding off so that I don't read it too early, so that I can kind of get my review out, with a little bit of time before it comes out so people can know if they should buy it or not. My review should come out on October 25th, and the book comes out like 2 weeks later. It's 352 pages and 82,000 words. I'm going to guess 4 stars. And 4 stars, I believe, is the score that I gave Legends and Lattes when I read it. And Legends and Lattes is a book that I probably shouldn't like. It is like this slice of life fantasy story. Nothing major happens. It's about an orc who opens up a coffee shop. That's about the end of the story. But it's fun. It's charming. It was nice waking up in the morning with a cup of coffee, sitting outside, enjoying the birds and the trees and the nice air and reading a nice story about nice people. Now, I would not enjoy that all the time. It's kind of nice to split up really big, gigantic reads with it. And knowing that I'm reading a lot of very serious books this month, like I normally do, it should be a nice little change of pace. So I'm guessing 4 stars. So that is all the books. I think it's 11. Should be a very busy month for me, but I'm reading some shorter books. But I want you to join this contest. Click the link down below and join, see if you can win, and join the Discord so we can chat about them as I read and rate each one. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and happy reading to you. Thanks again to all of my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Anna G, CJ, Darren, Gregory, Jonathan, My Book is Lit, Nathan T, Nev's Book Channel, 𝐿, Ron Reich, Russell, Ryan L, Sydney Baker, Tahir, Anna, Andra, Angelo, Blair, Brock, Evan, Harry B, Joe, Kat Mick, Maria, Michael Sugarman, Sky, TW57, 𝗏𝐶𝐬, and Zion. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and if you want to watch some more content from my channel, click over here and I've got some good videos for you. Thanks so much.